Namaste, my name is Prince Siddhartha Gautama. Historians believe that I was born sometime between 563 and 566 BCE to a Hindu family in Nepal. The first several years of my life were sheltered in a luxurious palace, but when I became older, I became extremely distressed upon learning how dire life could be for those who lived below my social class. I was so distressed that I abandoned my palace and became an impoverished monk, but this did not bring me peace, so I developed an ideology called the Middle Way. The Middle Way was a life lived in moderation. One shouldn't punish themselves with starvation, but they shouldn't be gluttons either. You should not give all your money to charity, but you shouldn't be greedy. You shouldn't work yourself to death, but you should not be lazy. I, Siddhartha Gautama, kept searching and developing my ideology on how to live for about 6 years until I achieved enlightenment or nirvana while meditating underneath a Bodhi tree. At this time my followers began to call me Buddha, which means enlightened one. Nirvana is a state of being in which all suffering ceases. We Buddhists believe that people are continuously reincarnated into this realm of suffering until one achieves nirvana. Whether you are reincarnated rich or poor, human, or something else depends on how much good or bad karma energy you accumulated in life through your actions. To achieve nirvana, Buddhists believe that one must acknowledge I, the Buddhas, 4 noble truths and abide by my Eightfold path. Let's discuss my 4 noble truths. Number 1. Believe that suffering is an inescapable part of life. The human condition is one of struggle, anguish, and pain. Number 2. Believe that this suffering stems from the greed, ignorance, and hatred that arises in our minds. In our quest to make life easier for ourselves, we generally tend to make it harder for others. We put ourselves first. Number 3. Believe that we can modify our behavior to lessen suffering in the world and our desire to put ourselves before others. And number 4. Believe that we can only achieve true happiness, virtue, and eventually nirvana by abiding by the Buddha's Eightfold path. My Eightfold path is right view, which means abandon a self-centered concept of life, right thought, which means abandon greed, resentment, and wicked intentions, right speech, which means abandon lying, gossip, slander, and cursing, right action, which is to abandon unnecessary killing, stealing, and irresponsible sexual practices, right livelihood means work to provide for yourself food, clothing, shelter, and other necessities of life, through a career that is helpful to society and beneficial to one's mental, emotional, and physical health. Right effort means to give your full effort to each point above, and avoid laziness. Right mindfulness is to practice intense self-control as to not violate any of the points above. Finally, right concentration means to meditate to clear the mind of any thoughts contrary to the points above. If one believes in my 4 noble truths and observes my noble Eightfold path, who knows, maybe you can achieve enlightenment as well. As for me, I died around the year 486 BCE from an illness that historians do not all agree upon. One leading theory is that tainted pork did me in. Whatever the case, I left this world with a serene expression on my face, knowing that my faithful would carry on my legacy. I mean, 500 million people are Buddhists today. Buddhism is the world's 4th largest religion, after Christianity, Islam, and Hinduism. Thank you for listening to what I had to say. Be well. Namaste.